Hi guys, now we're gonna look at anchor tag. Okay, anchor tag is simply how you create your hypertext or how you create your link, right? We use anchor tag to make anything clickable, right? We can use anchor tag to make a text clickable, any text clickable. We can use anchor tag to make any image clickable, right? We can use anchor tag, anything you want to make clickable, you just use the anchor tag. And we've looked at H1 paragraphs, HR, we've looked at the image, okay, and this is the anchor tag. So you realize we have this one open and closing, unlike the image that doesn't have the open and closing. You remember HR also doesn't have any open and closing, but with this one is pretty much like the paragraph tag. But that's not all. Something more about anchor tag is that it comes with an attribute. Okay, attribute is always something you add to the tag, okay, within one of the tags, the especially the first tag, okay, you put an attribute here. Let's see what attribute we put here, okay. This is where we are going to keep the link, and in between here, okay, is where we are going to describe what the link is. So what you put here is what uh, the viewer of your website will read, okay? And then what you put here will be the link. All right, so let's go straight to W3 and see how it looks like. This is it. Okay, so you see the anchor tag A, it ends here. And then the closing tags ends here. Okay, and then this is visit w3schools.com is what we will see in the website. But then behind the hood will be the link, which is href. Okay, href simply means, oh, sorry. Let me go over again. I realized it was not showing. So anchor tag in W3 schools, we have A here. Okay, the first opening tag A ends here. And then we have the visit W3 schools as a text. This is what we show on the browser at the user interface side. And this is the closing tag. Great. And I said we need an attribute anytime you are doing anchor. Remember, it's not straightforward like a paragraph where you don't use attributes, right? Or a header. We use attributes for anchor tag. It's a must. Okay, and this attribute is within the first tag, the opening tag, and we call it href. Href means hypertext reference. I hope I'm right. Okay, so what's the reference of your hypertext? You have to give it. And here it says W3 schools. Okay, so we are going to go back to the Wikipedia Baby Shark we are doing and see where to put some anchor tags. In fact, it has a lot of, Wikipedia has a lot of links to be clicking. All of them use anchor tags. Okay, so let's see how we do anchor tags. So as you can see, all the blue here are anchor tags. Okay, talk is anchor tag, edit anchor tag, Shark and life history anchor tag. Some anchor tags, when you click on them, they will take you to maybe a certain line in the page. Okay, some anchor tags will also open an entirely new page for you. Some anchor tags, the menu bars we use in web development, they are all anchor tags. The home, the about, the contact us, they are all anchor tags. Okay, so here we see New York Times here. We want to see if we click this, what will happen. Great, you realize it brings us to a different web page. Okay, it says New York Times. This is no longer Baby Shark. This is now talking about New York Times. Why? Because Baby Shark picked something from New York Times. Okay. Yeah. This is children's song. It may have nothing to do with Baby Shark. When we click on it, it will take us somewhere. Okay. Children's song, nursery or Mother Goose rhymes, children's playground and street songs. Yeah, so this is what Anchor Tag does. So we are going into our VS Code to, let's do one for the New York Times. Okay. The New York Times. We have New York Times in our Visual Code also. So let's go and do it in our Visual Code. Great. But then before we do that, we have to copy the URL for the New York Times. Okay, we will need a URL. So let's click on this, open the URL. Okay, that's the URL right there. Okay, so there's a URL here. Let's copy it, Command C, and then we go to our Baby Shark VS Code. Okay, so we are looking for New York Times through here. We see New York Times is right here. Okay, New York Times is right here. I think I must have, yeah, New York Times is right here. Let me, yeah, that's New York Times. Okay, so if we want to do it, you introduce the A, which is the anchor tag. Okay, and it says anchor tag opens here. What is your reference? Okay, and then what's the reference we copied, we paste it here. There's it. But then what is the name that we should find here? And then we click on that. It's New York Times, right? New York Times. But where it is, we'll have to just copy it, right? Let's cut it from here. We want to cut it, leave the comma outside. We will get the comma X. Okay, the comma will still show here, and then we put it here. Okay, you put it between the end and opening tag. Okay, so New York Times will show here in a blue color, right? So we put it right here. We cut it. Now you can't see New York Times here. But when we put it here, Command V, yes, now you see New York Times nicely. If we click on this, it will take us to the New York Times website or page on Wikipedia. So let's click on this and see how it works. So New York Times, right here, click on it. It says open externally. Yes, open. Great, you can see it here. Now we are not on Baby Shark, which is here anymore. Right now we are on New York Times, right here. Okay, so we just did for something that is hosted online. What about we want to do it for something that is within our own folder? Okay, like why don't we try to create some about page? Okay, because after all, when you build a website, you have your home page, the about page, the contact us page, a number of them, whatever you would want to show in the navigation, and maybe many other things in your write-up that you would want to be clickable. That may not be hosted on someone's website. So let's just do it for our own website. Let's just do it for our own folder. We are going to create our own about page. When you are doing this, it means your website is a multi-page website. It's not just one website. It's not just one page website. So we are having an about page. We can have a contact us page. We can have as many pages as we want. So let's just do that. We will really build a great website. It's just for us to be trying our hands on the HTML tags. So let's just quickly do that one. First of all, we will have to create a new page. Okay, come here, go to this button, open new file. You see we have a file with a plus here. Click on that one. Yes, we've opened a new file. Let's save the new file and give it a name. So file, save as. Okay, let's give it about.html. Don't forget the HTML. And then it should be in the Baby Shark folder for now. Okay, save. Voila, we have another HTML. Now we have two HTMLs we are playing. We have the index, which is the home page, and then we have the about. Okay, so let's get the HTML boilerplate. Shift and then exclamation 1 and hit the tab. We have it here. Now let's write something here as heading H1, enter, give it about, let's call it about, and then let's give it some horizontal line HR, enter. Okay, and then let's put there some paragraph. Let's just call it lorem. Okay, we call it lorem. So our about page, our about page has a lorem as a paragraph. Sorry, we didn't put it in a paragraph. Let's put lorem in a paragraph. Paragraph. Okay, and then cut this whole lorem. And put it in the paragraph. We need 2 paragraphs of lorem. Let's put in a paragraph again, paragraph, and then lorem. Okay, LO, hit enter. Yeah. So we have lorem, we have our about. Let's give it the opportunity to go back to the main page. Okay, by also using another anchor tag. Okay. But then first, let's do an anchor tag here in the HTML. Go to the HTML and let's do an anchor tag that will send us to this lorem. Okay, let's put it just underneath this horizontal line, Baby Shark. Where is it? We see Baby Shark is right here. This is Baby Shark. This is the HR, which is the horizontal line. Let's bring our anchor just beneath it. Okay, anchor just here, just type A, hit enter, and then what do we call it? We call it about. Yeah, we want it, just call it about. You can see it's already blue here, but when you click on it, it won't take you anywhere. Okay, it won't take you anywhere. You can try, you see nothing happens. Why? Because you have not shown where we can find the about. Is it online or is it in your own folder? Where exactly is it? So we are going to show where this about is. We can give it to Google. We can write here www.google.com. Okay, HTTP. We can make it Google, or we can make it what we have in there. We have it as, you can see here, about.html. You can call it about you can see right here .html. Great. So now if we click on this, trust me, it's going to take us to our Baby Shark page. You want to try? Let's click on this. Yes, now you see this is about. If we want to leave this page, we can go to the back button and then we have left. If we want about, what about when we come to about, we want another tag that will take us to the index HTML. So instead of calling it index.html, we will want to call it main page. Okay, so to do that means we would want to see it in the about page. So we'd rather go to the about index file. We want it under this line, so horizontal line is right here. Anchor tag opened. What is the name we want to give it? We want to give it main page, Let's call it main page. And then what will be the address for that? The address, we want to make it index.html. Index.html. Okay, don't forget to bring the .html. Great. So here, okay, this will take us to the index here, and this one will take us to the about, just like that. You can toggle between the two. So yes, go ahead. You can create anything. You can create a children's song. You can create a hypertext or a link. You can create the 3, the 4. You can make all of these hypertext. You can August, history, anything. This very image, you can make it a hypertext so that when someone clicks on it, it takes you to do something more. Right? Thank you. See you in our next video. Bye-bye.